Hey everyone, welcome to yet another edition of Friday Nights with Warikoo. It's Friday night, the week's gone past, and I hope that this was a fruitful week for you. This is where we ask deep, meaningful questions with no hope of a very clear answer. Instead, a conversation, a debate, a dialogue. And these are questions that I ask myself. These are questions that I often ponder upon. And today I wanted to talk about something that I thought I'll talk about really early in the past, but there was a Twitter thread that sparked this conversation again in my head. I'll tell you what the Twitter thread was at the end of this talk. And this is about progress. What does progress really mean? If you read all the right data, the right research that's happened globally, what you'll realize is the world's actually at a spot that's better than we ever were in our entire history. There's more literacy than there ever were. There's more health and medical advancement that's happened right now than there was ever. Lesser and lesser people are dying of poverty. Lesser and lesser people are dying of malnourishment. Lesser people are dying of wars. Lesser diseases are coming out. If there was ever a time that we have made tremendous progress as a civilization, this is it. We're now reaping massive advancements that have happened in technology and everywhere else. But what's ironic is that all this progress, all this definition of moving forward has not made us any happier. If you measure what has been the GDP per capita as against what people feel when they are asked this question, are you happy? Do you feel happy? You'll find surprisingly that wealth is increasing, progress is increasing, or we're making progress, but true happiness is almost flat, if not declining. People somehow are less happier with everything that we have. And if you really think about it, we have everything. You want today food ordered at your doorstep, click of a button. You want books and clothes ordered, click of a button. You want relationships, swipe right. You need everything. It happens at the very moment. And yet all of this instant gratification, all of this progress is somehow not making us deeply calm, is not making us deeply peaceful. Something's missing. And this was a Twitter thread by Paras Chopra, who's the founder of Wingify, a great company. And he's a deep thinker. You should look up this Twitter thread that he wrote recently. It's a fascinating data-led, his own version of what is progress and what it means to be unhappy in this progress world. I don't entirely agree with all that he said, but he did make a lot of valid points. The question in my head is, have we been measuring progress the wrong way? Have we been measuring our own existence the wrong way? Because from the day that we enter school, we're told that progress means that we're clearing every class every year and making it through the best college, and that's the best job, and then the best mate, and then the best kids, and then the best schools for them, and the best vacations, and the best car, and the best home, and so on and so forth. But somehow in this rat race, we're losing our own authenticity, we're losing our own selves. And then there are people who seemingly are completely away from this progress. In India, we call them sadhus, and they could be people that have given away everything that the material world is offering. And they're living at the other end of the spectrum. And I'm not saying that all sadhus have found their peace, but it does seem like a lot of them don't care. They're actually far more ingrained in their own happiness, in self-awareness, than we possibly all are. Were they measuring progress in a different way? Have we all completely lost the meaning of what progress is? So my question to you today is, how do you really go about defining progress, particularly against the background that progress seemingly is not making people happy, at least the way we define it today? And if you feel that you are making progress and that you also feel you're happy, what are those definitions that you set for yourself? Are those the definitions that were given to you, or were those definitions that you chose for yourselves? In my experience, at least, I've realized that people who somehow get to a point where they're making their own definitions of what they want from life, whether it's defining success, is defining failure, seem to be a lot more at peace at themselves, within themselves. And maybe that means that there is no global definition of progress, which is counterintuitive, because if there is no global definition of progress, if there is no single metric to measure everyone against, then everyone will be thinking of themselves and their lives and the world in a completely different way. And that may not work for the world to move forward. So you're caught in this dichotomy. If progress is personal, if progress that is personal to you makes you happy, then how do you begin to define progress for everyone? And if you can't define progress for everyone, then how do we realize that we are actually better off than what we were yesterday? And if we are better off than what we were yesterday, then why is it that we're not happy? Crazy questions that I'll leave you with until I meet you next Friday. I hope you have a great weekend and a good week ahead. See you all.